Hey, this is Grant Brissett talking about Christian apologetics, addressing a challenge against Christianity that goes like this sometimes. Some people will say, well, everyone on the planet's an atheist in regard to thousands of other gods, but when it comes to the Christian God, I'm also an atheist, so why are you giving me a hard time? And so there's two things that we can say when we're dealing with this kind of challenge. Number one, this is a misuse of the term atheism. Atheism, according to the general term in philosophy, means a universal negation of God. Atheism means there is no God. If we accepted this other definition that I'm just an atheist in regard to Zeus and Apollo and Odin, then every single person on the planet would be an atheist. And what this does is it really tries to make atheism as not such a radical view. It tries to make it as just, we're all atheists, but I'm an atheist with one more God. And so if you accepted that false definition, you would have to say that Christians are atheists when it comes to the Islamic God, or Muslims are atheists when it comes to the Christian God. But really what we're saying is Muslims don't believe in the Christian God, or Christians don't believe in the Muslim God. But atheism, the term, is a universal negation that says there is no God. So in no sense of the word am I an atheist if I believe in a Christian God, or in no sense is a Muslim an atheist. So number one, it's a complete misuse of terms. Number two, let's just say we come to an agreement and the person is simply saying, hey, I don't believe in all these other gods like Zeus and Thor and Apollo, and neither do you. I just don't believe in one more God. Well, that's a fair statement. And so the question that I would ask a person is that first tactical question by Greg Koukl in his book called Tactics, where you ask a person, what do you mean by that? So when a person says, I'm just a non-believer in one more God, your Christian God, what do you have to say to that? I would say, what do you mean by God? Because in this argument, people are comparing the Christian God to Thor and Odin and Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and a tooth fairy and all kinds of other fairy tales. And there's a number of ways that we can fine-tune the explanation for the Christian God. And the main one that I go to is, well, we're talking about a cause of the beginning of the universe. Nobody believes that Odin or Zeus, usually, or the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus, is the immaterial, uncaused cause of the entire cosmos. But if God makes sense of the beginning of the universe, as I would argue, none of these other gods even fit the bill. You're talking about finite, physical. They're not even said to be omnipresent or omnipowerful gods. The Christian God is completely different as far as the definition's concerned. And once we realize that we have an immaterial, uncaused being that we are positing, now that kind of a God can be the cause of the universe. But no one thinks that Zeus caused it all. No one thinks that Odin caused it all. They believe in a pantheon of gods, usually not immaterial but physical, not eternal but created. And so the difference between all these other thousands of God is so vastly different from the Christian God that our main task, I believe, and tactic in answering this question is to say, what do you mean by God? So there's two ways we can talk about this. Number one, it's a misuse of the term atheism. But even if you get pushback on that and somebody doesn't agree with it, let's just agree to disagree. You're an atheist when it comes to one more God. I would say you're a non-believer when it comes to the Christian God. But now my question is, what do you mean by God? Because I'm talking about the Christian God who is an immaterial, eternal, all-powerful, omnipresent, uncaused cause of the material universe and all the laws therein. And that is a completely different definition, a possible cause to the universe where all these other gods aren't even said to be a cause of the entire universe. Well, this has been Grant Brissett talking about the challenge. I'm just an atheist when it comes to one more God, the Christian God. Thank you.